Peace be with you, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Trevor. Very grateful to have you here. And today's video, I'll be sharing with you my weekly fragrance rotation, just rounding out the second week of May here, 2024. So Monday, this is a fragrance that I've been somewhat neglecting all spring. I've been testing a lot of things out, but otherwise, this is something that I would consider a staple for the warmer months for me. It is a Vetiver fragrance, and perhaps one of, if not the most easy to wear and most mass appealing Vetivers, since it's a note that's somewhat polarizing amongst the general population, but a favorite of mine. This is Tom Ford's Gray Vetiver. So Monday, I think most of the week here we've had really kind of nice temperatures, at least high 70s is about where it's been hanging out at. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, however, I reached for things that had a little bit more density to it, a little bit more heft, because they were overcast and a little bit rainy, although a lot of the times the day began with rain and then transitioned into really nice, beautiful sunshine like I have with me today. So Vetiver fragrances are some that I really like to grab in those types of climates where the Vetiver has a really nice, hefty, soapy quality, and this one I think is just a perfect grab for this early part of the summertime, ending off in spring. It's got a really nice, juicy, effervescent grapefruit going on. It reminds me a little bit of a well-kept five-star hotel swimming pool, like the indoor swimming pool area where you have the amenities such as a gym and the shower areas at the resort or the hotel you're staying at. This kind of gives me that clean sensation with a little bit of chlorine in the air. A little bit of an odd association, I want to say, but I think it captures the scent profile pretty well of this fragrance. It just has a really nice, clean, a little bit powdery and sweet at certain times towards the dry down, the way that the soapy Vetiver comes off. It reminds me of the waxy texture on a bar of soap, where you do get something a little bit sleek and powdery, despite this being also juicy, effervescent, and sparkly because of that grapefruit. Really a stunning composition from Tom Ford. As is usual, it's one of my favorite brands, and this one did deliver for me on Monday, so that was Tom Ford's Gray Vetiver. Moving into another fragrance with a little bit more heft, but appropriate for the warmer weather. This is Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche for Tuesday. Really love the sweet, creamy tonka bean that is the kind of centerpiece in here underneath of the, again, beautiful citrus. Nice, sparkly lemon going on. This gets compared to a lemon meringue pie, and I have to agree, it does capture that scent profile and texture, the creamy quality coming in very well. Really elegant stuff, and something that I think is a must try at the very least for the hot weather. It's just so easy to wear and a simple offering that goes over very well with both the wearing experience and the general public. I haven't gotten any compliments with this one, however, I've not gotten any negative feedback with it either, and it just wears it very well with the sort of white tea vibes, hence the cap here during the part of the year that we're in right now. May is my favorite white tea, hanging out in the backyard, doing a little bit of lawn care, just enjoying the sunshine, reading a book, and this one is a perfect complement to that kind of atmosphere, even though I wore this for an overcast day because the creamy, heavy tonka carried it out through the little bit of that more dreary atmosphere. So that was Tuesday's Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. Wednesday, the last of the kind of overcast days, again reached for something with a little bit of heft, another Vetiver fragrance. This one is perhaps even easier to wear than the Tom Ford. This is going to be Mancera's Vetiver Sensuel. So didn't like this one when I first got it in. It had a little bit too woody of a Vetiver going on, remind me a little bit of XX Artisan from John Varvatos. Kind of gave off a little bit of a cardboard syrupy vibe, I want to say, but the really nice effervescent lime in here really balanced that out for me. I didn't pick up on the citruses at first when I first got it, but now after I've worn it a few times, it's really grown on me incredibly well. It's super easy to wear, pretty high quality in terms of the citruses, and there's a nice floral aspect and a minty aspect that gives it a good textural softness, and then a nice brisk cooling quality as well. Really well composed, although simple fragrance. I think this is something that is going to be a tried and true staple in the years to come for the fragrance community, although I would like to see maybe a flanker of this one. I think this one will kind of go the route of the original Acqua di Gio or CK1. It's just a really simple, easy, dumb reach, but I think there's a lot that could be done in terms of flankers with this DNA, and would be interested to see maybe an intense version coming from Mancera with this fragrance. But that was Vetiver Sensuel for Wednesday, and I believe the only Vetiver fragrance that I have gotten compliments on. Didn't get one this week, but I have in the past wearing this one. So check this one out. This is Vetiver Sensuel for Wednesday. Thursday, actually this Thursday we started off a little bit overcast and cloudy, but I go into work early on Thursdays at 9 a.m. and so the cloud cover had really dissipated by the time we got to the afternoon of my shift. But this one is another great one that has a little bit of heft. There's a tobacco note in here. A floral tobacco is really the best way to characterize this fragrance. And otherwise, though, there's some really nice citric qualities in here, and almost honey-like sweetness in terms of its texture, really smooth and elegant, and perfect for the month of May, in my opinion. This is Dolce & Gabbana's Eau de Toilette, the vintage sticker version. Only difference between this and the modern versions I've tried are a little bit higher quality ingredients or blending. I say that the newer versions are a little bit more sharp and rough around the edges. This one's incredibly smooth and a lot more creamy, but the scent profile is overall there. This one just has a little bit more of a sweetness to it, I want to say. Stunning juice though. Really sad that I can't really recommend picking one of these up, the sticker version at the very least. If you do, however, try to hunt down a tester, as the non-tester versions are highly replicated and pawned off as fakes. You're going to be having a higher likelihood of scoring an original if you do get the tester. But this is some great stuff, and if you can't find this one for anything under $200, I would say just go ahead and grab the ones that they have out on the market now. That's still one of my favorite cheapies for the springtime, and like I said, a nice floral tobacco with a little bit of an aromatic fougere vibe underneath of that central accord. So Dolce & Gabbana's Pour Homme for Thursday. And Friday is when I like to wear niche fragrances, and I've really been enjoying the note of ginger this month. YSL Homme is one that I wore last week that I really got a lot of enjoyment out of, and this one kind of goes in a similar direction but amps up the sweetness and the projection, and everything about this is just a little bit more spicy and dark and heavy, I want to say, version of Homme. This one, I'm kind of on the fence of whether it's more of a spring and summer fragrance or maybe an early autumn, maybe September, I want to say, because it does have an almost gourmand leaning facet to it, almost like a vanilla pound cake, or maybe like an angel food cake kind of sensation going on with a heavy dose of ginger. This is Ingenious ginger from Goldfield and Banks. So like I said, it does have almost a gourmand style lean to it. There's hints of it at times that remind me of wearing Ani from Nichane. This, however, does have a really nice, beautiful, sparkly, citricy ginger fizziness going on that I think makes it applicable for the spring and summertime, especially the summer nights. I think this is going to be an all-star for that kind of occasion, but really did enjoy wearing this one on Friday. Got a really good amount of sillage. I could smell myself in the wafts throughout the day, long duration throughout the course of the wearing experience, and easily lasted 10 hours on me. I could smell it well into the following day on my skin. This is Ingenious ginger from Goldfield and Banks. Definitely worth checking out this brand in general. I've yet to encounter anything that I've been really dissatisfied from them. Pacific, Rock Moss, Bohemian Lime are a couple of others that are great for this time of the year. So that was my Friday scent of the day. Saturday, this is a fragrance that I did not even intend on purchasing, but I saw Joma Shop had an absolute steal of a deal going on this one. It was so good that after I placed the order, they said it was out of stock and then relisted it at $100 more. So I picked this up for $160. This usually goes for at least $260 on the discounters, so I got a really good deal on it. It's the only reason I picked it up, but I'm glad I did. And it really is the best version of this genre of fragrance in my collection, which is one of my favorite genres. The soapy citric fragrances. This is Scandal Pour Homme from Roja Parfums. Like I said, $160 for this bottle. Really could not pass it up. Kind of put me outside of my budgeting restraints for the month, but I was okay with it just because it was such a great pickup. And like I said, the soapy citric aromatics is what this really articulates. I want to say it's in the same vein as Boucheron Pour Homme, Armani Eau Pour Homme, and Florist 89. Really kind of goes in that same ballpark. You could even pull up Boucheron Pour Homme's notes, and this one looks almost copy-paste from that. But this one does it better than all those other ones. For the price though, I think maybe Florist 89 is going to be my favorite price to value ratio, but this one just has the best blend of all of those. Really nice, elegant florals that don't go too heavy. The overall composition is incredibly smooth. There's really no it's very hard to detect where the individual notes are because it's so well composed. I did get a compliment on this one, be it from my mother and father. They both said I smelled good, so I wouldn't take that as a true compliment from like a woman or anything, but really great stuff. And I'm gonna have to get some more wearing experience with it. I think I wore it throughout the day, but then took a shower a little bit after doing some yard work, so I don't really know the projection and longevity on it just yet, but I assume it's going to be pretty well suited for, you know, a spring and summer occasion. Even if it only lasts 4 to 5 hours, I think I would be content with that. But I'm going to be wearing it some more throughout the course of the spring and summer season, and really glad that I was able to get such a good deal on this one. So that was Roja's Scandal Pour Homme for Saturday. And then finally, Sunday, this is a hidden gem and slowly becoming one of my favorite dumb reaches for the spring and summer season. Very fresh, waxy, soapy, clean, citric, sparkly, cheapy. This is sub $20 for the full 100 ml bottle. This is Vetiver Bourbon from Monotheme. And like I said, you just get it's almost like, it reminds me a little bit of Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver, but instead of grapefruit, you get a kind of lemon-lime sensation. There is also no rose note listed on Parfum or Fragrantica, but there was a commenter on the Fragrantica page saying that there is a bourbon rose in this, hence the bourbon, because it doesn't really have a alcoholic, boozy accord in there, but I do get like a cold floral vibe, so I could see there being a rose in this, in addition to maybe Artemisia and Vetiver being some of the main notes. I feel like I pick up a geranium. It could have been the bourbon rose, but there's something very cooling about this fragrance. It kind of reminds me, it's in the same ballpark as something like maybe Beach Hut Man from Amouage. It kind of goes in that similar direction. There's a lot of mossy sensation going on in here, so like citruses, almost like a Sprite soap is kind of what this reminds me of. Really nice projection for about 1 hour. The duration of the scent is about 4 to 6 hours, but it's just such a very cooling, refreshing, almost marble-like texture to this fragrance. Really awesome stuff, and like I said, slowly becoming a favorite and easy dumb reach for me here in the late spring, early summer. That is Vetiver Bourbons for Sunday, rounding out my week in fragrance. So really had a great time this week. Vetiver seemed to be one of the key players here, one of my favorites during the late spring, early summer. Let me know what you've been wearing in the comment section down below. Let me know if you've tried any of these fragrances that I mentioned here in this list, and if you have any other recommendations based off of my tastes here that I had in the second week of May. So without further ado, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Take care.